A friend of mine is a caterer, and she loves to use granite pieces to serve all of her food and to display them. You know, you can stop by granite yards, and a lot of times they throw these away. They come in so many colors, from Ubatuba to St. Cecilia, and they have fossils in them and a lot of cool texture. But before you put them on your furniture, you don't want it to scratch. So you want to add some rubberized stoppers on the bottom. So you take some of these and you place them all around the bottom. That way you're not worried about them scratching. Now you can display your food. You can add cheese and crackers, and it makes a wonderful display. So the next time you drive by a granite yard, maybe you want to stop in and pick up a few slabs for yourself and use it for your table display. You know, here at LifeStyle, we like to give you great information because I know that at some point you're going to remodel a kitchen or a bath, and I found with my clients that there's two things that's very surprising. First is the cost. Usually it's been 14 years since they have done any remodeling and sticker shock, and then the second is the outcome. They're so pleased. Wow, it's so much more convenient, it's so much more spacious, but it's really important to have a great plan. And I'm here with expert Jennifer Marcanic of Timeless Interiors. Jennifer, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Denise. I'm so happy to be back.
Well, you're always giving great advice, and you too, along with Shirley, were feature designer in the O'More Show House, and we're going to be showing that. Do you know when it's going to that?
Yeah, that publication should be out in spring of 2015.
Okay, that's what she was saying too, because we want to make sure, and we'll have you guys back on to show that show house. But tell us about Timeless Interiors and what you do.
Yes, I'm Jennifer Marcanic again with Timeless Interiors, and I'm an interior designer that does residential design. I specialize in kitchen and bath, and so we'll be talking about the kitchen today. But I do all types of work with renovations, new construction, furniture choices, upholstery, reupholstery, kitchen design, of course, draperies, whatever we need for the space interior.
I love it, and you do such a fabulous job. You were featured last year in the magazine.
Yes,
which
in Traditional Home.
In Traditional Home.
We talked about that, and we talked about Better Homes and Gardens, where we did a bathroom.
I know. I'm so excited for you. You are just, you know what? You're just hot right now, and I'm so glad to have you on the show. Well, one of the things that you did in the show house is a room in the master suite. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, I did the master suite, which was the hallway into the master, the bedroom, the bathroom, and the closets. And this is a shot of the bathroom. The cabinetry was custom designed, and it was made by a local cabinet maker. Custom designed flooring, shower. It was just a beautiful, beautiful space.
Oh, and is that a slipper tub?
It is a double slipper tub. Ooh. Yes, absolutely.
Ooh,
lovely.
I could curl up in that.
New, but looks old. And here's the bedroom. Started with the rug. It was a custom designed rug I did for the space, and really wanted to do some fresh approach to color. So kind of a neutral gray-green wall, but just popped that coral and blush, and you can see that little blush pink on the ceiling.
Oh, and I love the rug because it just looks so happy, and then you've got those coral colors. I love that you're not afraid to use color, but yet, as your name, Timeless Interiors, this really gives a look that could be in for many, many years. I mean, you could certainly take the color out if you tired of that, but it looks so beautiful. And I will have to say, we had Fancy Vents, the little vent there. She was on a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
So glad that Cindy Moore was part of that. Now, you've got to talk about, this is one of my favorite features, is this backsplash.
Yes. The way, if you can see the way the cabinet is designed, it bows in the front where the sink is, and so what I wanted to do is kind of mimic that feel on the backsplash with this white marble, and it's just beautifully done by Smoky Mountain Tops, and they just did a great job, and it's just kind of having that little element instead of just a straight backsplash.
Well, I like these sconces too. They're very elongated. I like that you use such a tall mirror and you know, talk a little bit about that composition.
Yeah, the composition, the sconces are done by our Ironware International. They're absolutely beautiful. And just to kind of give that long element, the ceilings in the space are 12 feet. So we've got a lot of room to work with, and so that's why I elongated the sconce and elongated the mirror. to balance the
I love
space.
that mirror too. That is so pretty. Now, was that all of our pictures from the show house there?
I think that was it.
Okay, that was beautiful.
Thank
and
you.
I know you got so many people coming through your space, loving that space. Now, for our viewers, they're watching and they think, oh, I need to remodel. But you've got, a lot of times they start out with the must-haves, I would like to have, and they keep adding to it, and what happens is they just blow their budget. So talk about the 3 types. You say there's 3 types really of remodels, and let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay, absolutely. So let's start with the kitchen, and we're talking about 3 basic models that I talk about. Number 1 is a basic. A basic remodel is where it's maybe a small kitchen, budget around $20,000 to $30,000. We're either refacing, repainting, or using a stock cabinet, laminate countertops, lower price point appliances. This is a low budget remodel, commensurate with the architecture of the home. We're just doing really minimal. So that's the first. The second, which is probably the most common, is your mid to upper, and that can range anywhere from $50,000 to $85,000. And that sounds like a big range, but a lot is dependent on there. So now we're looking into semi-custom to custom cabinetry, stone countertops, little higher end appliance, reworking a space, moving some things, moving some walls possibly, or
and probably getting a lot more square footage in there.
Yes, and more usable. This is for someone who their kitchen doesn't function well. It's time to move some things around. And then the third is the deluxe, and this is $100,000 or better kitchen. This is fully customized. This is a full remodel of the space. High-end furniture like cabinetry, built-in and pro type appliances. So it really depends, and there are wide ranges, and we kind of spill over. And the biggest thing with the client is to say what works and what doesn't work in your kitchen, and how much can you afford or want to spend.
Correct.
And then I help them see what we can get for the money.
Yeah, because some people they may be able to afford it, but perhaps they're going to sell their home in 5 years, and they're thinking.
Correct.
But let's say though, with resale value, the kitchens and the baths are so important.
Kitchens and the baths are so important, Denise, and that's what makes a house. And to me, they're the most important most important rooms for me to work on for clients, because they affect people's lives the most. If your kitchen and your bathrooms aren't feeding your soul and functioning well for you, you're not going to be as happy.
Oh, I love that. Is so well put, because I think emotionally, our homes really are a nesting place, and when we get new spaces and it's better functioning, it just makes us feel good, and we want to have people over. It's a great way. Well, you are going to introduce us to a new line of cabinetry, which I'm really excited to see. Tell me about this line.
Yes, this line of cabinetry, it's called Superior Woodworks. They're out of Indiana, northern Indiana. They're Amish built. They're wonderful. Very small company, just works with a handful of designers around the country. And fortunately, I am their designer, their dealer in Tennessee. And the great thing about this cabinetry line, it's all hardwood, dovetail drawers, soft close drawers, standard, and we totally customize it for the client. There are a lot of options in design, and so we can start. This is just the kind of a white, just to kind of look at some design,
and we can see the detailing that you have there.
Correct. This has a bead on it, so this is just kind of one example of a frame. And actually what we do is there are so many that we can look and say, I like this outside. I like this panel inside, but maybe I want it a little plainer. Well, I can switch this around and show you if you liked that exterior. Let me get it here.
Okay, so you're literally able to take them through and show them
to
the
do
detailing.
A planer. So we have lots of options to choose from to see what looks best in your space. What do you like the most? And from that, it can be a wood finish, wood stained finish, a painted finish, whatever you want. Totally customized.
And speaking of which, you brought two of, you are so trending. Show us the two samples that you have that has, it's so pretty. Let me see.
These are for actually a current project we're working on.
And this love it. It looks reclaimed.
It's not. It's the way it's hand planed and finished. Just beautiful, beautiful
that
work.
is gorgeous. And now, would this come in several finishes? Could you choose?
Oh, we can do whatever wood species and finish. This is actually for a man's office, a home office, and it's just beautiful.
I love this. I bet this is the one with the piece of art you were showing me a few months ago.
Might have been. Might have been.
Now, you've got to show me the next one because navy is all the rage. You might think this is black. It may be coming across black, but navy. Look at this navy cabinetry. I like because it gives you a little twist on the black.
Yes, the color is Inkwell by Sherwin-Williams.
Inkwell, well, of course.
And this is for a kitchen that we're doing, and the lower cabinets are all done in this, and the uppers will be stained. So it's a real
I like
twist.
That's
a real mix.
Big trend right now.
It is.
Don't stain, paint, or finish everything in one particular color.
Correct.
You're going to want to change it up.
And it depends on the space, Denise. I have clients where I'm doing all the lower cabinetry, one finish, uppers a different. I have one I'm doing right now where the island and the lowers are all one color and the uppers are different. So it depends on the space of what we're trying to achieve. Whether it's to make the space look larger, to make it feel more cozy, to elongate the ceilings. We play with color and design to get that effect.
And one of the things that you talk about is when you've got to make a list of your must-haves and then you would like to have, because that's really going to cause you to vary in the pricing.
Absolutely. And the must-have actually starts with appliances. Very, very important. Must-haves with refrigeration and with cooking. And so once I know, do you need a double oven? Do you want a pro range? Do you want a built-in or a counter depth refrigerator? What size refrigeration? Once I know those things, then I know what those prices are going to be like. Then we look at cabinetry. And cabinetry, there are two things that I always tell my clients. You always want to buy the best you can in cabinetry and upholstery because they're the two things that take the most abuse in your home.
Exactly. And you told me, and the statistics are a third of your budget should be spent on your cabinetry.
Absolutely. It's a good place to start. About a third of your remodel budget for a kitchen will be cabinetry.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And also hiring a pro, because this is a big job and you really need good space planning.
Absolutely. This is where, especially if you're going to move walls or reorganize the space, you do need a pro. You want to hire a design professional to help with that. Not only space planning, but knowing what the appliance choices are for you, knowing what the cabinet choices are for you, hardware, countertops, all of those finishes and how they come together to have this uniformed design. And
you've used some of this product in some homes, and we're going to see some examples of that.
Absolutely.
And I love the fact that you have brought the samples, but you've also you're showing us some pictures.
Yes, this is a kitchen remodel that we recently did in Franklin, and this is with this line of cabinet. Here we did just a very simple shaker. You see the cabinets in the perimeter, they're just kind of a pale white cabinet, and these are overlay. These are full European overlay, which are less expensive than inset, which we'll see in a moment. But very clean, very sleek, lovely, lovely kitchen.
And then you put, instead of the island, I mean, it's an island, but it looks like a piece of furniture.
It does, and this is where we spent a little bit of more money, is in that island. The island's done in walnut.
Okay, so the walnut legs and skirt.
It's all walnut.
Okay.
And it's these, you'll see, I think we have a shot of the island up close. There you go.
Oh,
these
beautiful.
Have inset, what we call inset doors.
Okay.
And so they're inset inside the face frame, which is how furniture is built.
Exactly.
And so this is more of our furniture piece, and a lot of bang for the buck here.
That is beautiful.
And this is a little detail shot, kind of seeing some subtle things. The backsplash is porcelain, but it's beveled, so it gives a little shadow line. And then the backsplash from the cooktop, you can see it's a little diamond shape with these little dots. So it's cream and white to give a little plate.
It's very subtle. But that's the thing that you are really good at, Jennifer, is talking with people about what it is that they want in their spaces. Now, do you find that people sort of want to flip-flop? If they've had a dark kitchen, they want to flip over to white? What are you finding as trending?
Yes, absolutely. And this particular kitchen was an all-stained dark kitchen before we redid it. And we wanted to infuse it with light, which was what we did.
Right.
And so, yes, absolutely, we're finding that.
And you've got another sample here to show. Now, this is kind of that in between. It's not white. It has a little what we call faux finish, but it's very, very subtle. We're not seeing the heavily distressed on this.
Correct. This is a glazed cabinet. So this is versus a painted. We just do a light glazing on it. This is really nice when we do cabinetry, like what we call the beaded inset. So it kind of grabs that stain and just kind of highlights it. So it's very subtle, very soft. So there's a range. There's just, the sky is the limit of what we can do. And again, it's what the client is looking to achieve. How do they want to feel? What do they want it to be like?
And what I'm wondering too, this year, in the past couple of years, everybody wanted the stainless steel. They wanted all of the, more the upgraded kitchen where it looked a little bit more pro. What are you finding? I love the woods. What are you finding?
I'm seeing both. Okay. I'm seeing stainless steel all the time, all the time. Also, the whole hide the appliances with the wood. Absolutely, with the wood panels. We see that all the time.
Now, you just went over, speaking of appliances, GE.
Yes, I was
you're excited about that.
I am so excited. I was just up in Louisville at GE Monogram, and GE Monogram is GE's high-end appliance line. Love this appliance line. Very good price for a pro line.
That's great. Jennifer, you've given us incredible things to think about our must-haves and our want-to-haves, and kind of how we should budget not to be sticker shocked. So thank you so much for everything that you shared with us.
Thank you.
And one of the things that we always hear from Foamworks is that we should check the insulation in our attic, because that can actually cool the entire house. And I can tell you, ever since we put the Foamworks in our attic, almost every day my husband says, honey, you won't believe it's the same temperature as the rest of the house. So you can give them a call at 590-7856, and they'll be able to make your temperature of your attic be the same as the rest of your home. Well, coming up, it's one of my favorite times. It's the party favor time. We'll hand out the party favors and do the toast when we come back. So you come back too.